Hey y'all, welcome back to this episode of Diapers and Degrees. I'm your host, Victoria Avalar, and today I'm so excited for the guest that we have on. Her name is Cameron, and she is a sweet friend of mine. I would call her a friend. And she's just an awesome person. She is a champion for life and for supporting women in unplanned pregnancies, and she works at Hope Pregnancy Center in College Station, which is the pregnancy center that I got to go see my baby for the first time. And Cameron's going to tell us a little bit about Hope and what kind of services they provide for women in unplanned pregnancies and who they are and what their values are. And Cameron, yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, yeah, like Victoria said, my name is Cameron. I work at Hope Pregnancy Center, and I've been working here for about 2 years, and I've been the outreach director for about a year and a half. I've loved it so much, and I'm super excited to be here today. Thanks for having me.
Yes, I'm so glad you're here. So, really quickly, or it doesn't have to be quick, but can you give us just a brief overview of what a pregnancy center is? I feel like maybe not that many people know about what a pregnancy resource center is. And I know there's a lot of like misconceptions and kind of like false information. So if you want to share a little bit about that.
A pregnancy center typically is a nonprofit organization that offers free services to women who are in need of pregnancy tests, ultrasounds before they're able to maybe get insured and find a doctor's care. They're also available for women who don't know what option they would like to choose for their pregnancy. So we provide support and counseling information about different options and also lots and lots of educational and material support to women who do choose to parent or who choose to continue with their pregnancy and maybe make an adoption plan as well. We have support available for those women too. So yeah, it's just a great place to go where we want women to feel holistically cared for during their pregnancy. And again, all services are free and confidential.
That's awesome. Yeah. So, how long has Hope Pregnancy been in College Station? Do you know?
We've been here for 37 years, I think.
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. I did not realize that. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is your role as the outreach, is it director, coordinator?
Yes.
I don't.
Yeah. Outreach director. I think it used to be called outreach director and education coordinator, but now it's just outreach director. But I am mostly doing marketing, social media, things of that nature. But then I also have the education side of things under my direction. So I run the in-person parenting class and all of our material assistance programs. So I deal with donations that come in and also with our store called Hannah's Closet where our students come to shop in. And then I also just meet with clients and do the everyday tasks like walking women through their pregnancy test appointments and things like that.
Yeah. So what does that look like if a woman comes in, and she says, I need a pregnancy test?
So they will usually call and we'll try and get them in as soon as possible for a pregnancy test, depending on what her need is. Some women are able to wait a little bit longer, but some women, need to know the results of their test right then. So we'll try and get them in as soon as possible. When they come in, they'll come in, sign some forms, and we'll start immediately with the pregnancy test, which is a urine-based test. And so they'll give us a urine sample and they'll come in to a room with a client advocate and answer some basic questions about why they think they're pregnant, and when the first day of their last period was, and was this a planned pregnancy or was this unintended, things like that. Mm-hmm. And then while they're running the test, we'll also talk about pregnancy history and life situation, partner situation, financial situation, and spiritual situation, just so that we can make sure that they're cared for everything that they're in need of right now and not just that pregnancy test, because although that's super, super important, sometimes there's a lot of other needs that we're able to help them find a way to meet. And then, yeah, they'll get the results and we'll give them resources. If it's a positive test, we'll be able to either provide an ultrasound same day or maybe a little bit later on a different day or a couple weeks out, depending on how far along they are. And we'll also tell them about our parenting classes and things like that. If it's a negative test, we also have some resources too for STI testing and information about sexual health, things like that.
Oh, okay, cool. That's awesome. So I don't know. I get nervous being a client advocate. Like what kind of, I guess, what demographic of women do you usually see? Because College Station is, I mean, it's in the name, a college town.
Yes. Typically, we see women who have been in this town for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It is usually women who are in need of Medicaid. That's our biggest clientele that we see, are people who need a proof of pregnancy for Medicaid, which is also something that we're able to provide. But yeah, we do see quite a few students. And so a lot of these students that come in to see us have means to, to get a doctor. Maybe they're on their parents' insurance or something like that. But usually the college students are more on the fence about what they'd like to do with their pregnancy options, or maybe they're in need of parenting education, things like that. So, yeah, I would say a little bit of students, but mostly people who have been in this town for a while.
Oh, okay, cool. So more with the client advocacy center, or I mean, service, you were a client advocate, or I guess you kind of still do that within your role.
Yes.
What is that like? I don't know. I feel like my client advocate was super sweet. You know her.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just feel like, because you see so many things like online and in the news, and like, of course, there's a lot of like misconceptions about, pregnancy centers like giving out, false information. But what is that process like whenever you're meeting with a woman who's facing an unplanned pregnancy?
For me, yeah, it can be scary sometimes. You're meeting a new person and asking a lot of personal questions that they might not be prepared to answer. A lot of the clients, though, are super, super happy that someone is just caring about them enough to ask these things, especially in a time that can be stressful for a lot of women. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. I love it. It's probably my favorite part of the job, is just getting to have this 30 minutes to an hour with a woman and just get to know her a little bit more and let her know that she's loved and cared for. Again, in what can be a really stressful time. I try, I do. Our policy here is, especially when they're asking information about options, to just provide the facts and just the things they need to know to make the most informed decision. So I know there's a lot of hate, or maybe not hate, just, like you said, false information or misinformation going out right now about pregnancy centers trying to deceive women about their options or get someone to make a certain choice, but that's not what we're here for. We are just here to provide the truth, and that's what I hold myself to really highly when I'm in the advocacy room, because she just deserves care and support and truth, and so that's what we're really here to exist for.
Yeah. And even if, let's say, she does choose, to have an abortion, what, is there anything that Hope offers, or like other pregnancies offer as well? Excuse me, I need to sneeze.
You're so good.
Okay. I'm good. Okay.
Yes. So if she does choose abortion, we still want to be here for her, because that can have effects on her as well, physically, mentally, emotionally. And so we do have a post-abortion support program led by women in our center, on staff at our center, who have had abortions in the past. And so that can be a difficult thing to come to, realizing that you do need healing, if you do need healing after choosing abortion. But we are definitely here for that, because no matter what choice is made.
Yeah, you want to like come to them with love and compassion, no matter what, sure. Especially. And it's hard. Like, it's really heartbreaking to see a lot of women, acting out in anger and rage, but it really, like, I just get so sad. Like, I just want to tell them, like, because sometimes when you're so angry about something, like deep down, you're hurt and you like need to seek that healing. So
Yeah.
hopefully like a lot of women can kind of start to realize like, okay, why am I so angry about this? Yeah. And I had another thought, but oh yeah. Okay. I was going to ask you, well, you kind of already answered my next question. Was what was your favorite thing about working with Hope? But, yeah, talk to me a little bit about Hannah's Closet, right? And that whole thing. I remember getting to see the remodel and you're like, it looks so great.
The one blessing that we need to remodel is, that we've just got. So that's super fun. But yeah, so Hannah's Closet is a store that has mostly all new items for babies aged 0 to 18 months. So we've got all sizes of diapers, we've got wipes, we've got larger items, most of the time like cribs and strollers, baby swings, things like that. We've got baby clothing and also hygiene items, pacifiers, bottles, formula. Formula has been a big thing right now with the shortage. So we've been giving a lot of that out to people who aren't even clients, just because that's a big need right now.
Wow, that's awesome.
But yeah, that's a little bit about the store. The way you're able to shop in the store is if you complete our parenting class called Hope's Gathering. And each time you come, you get what we call baby bucks. And so you're able to spend your baby bucks in the store.
Oh, that's awesome. I remember when I got all the information about it, I just think I didn't go because I was scared to go alone. Yeah. So, but I wish I would have gone. But yeah, that's just really cool because I know there's like, and I remember even one time hearing with Pro-Life Aggies, I know you've spoken with Pro-Life Aggies, kind of shared about what Hope does. We had another lady from a different pregnancy resource center come one year, and she said, there's some ladies who will take all of our classes and then they come back and I tell them, I don't have any more classes to give to you. Like, because they find the community there, they find their village, that it takes to raise a child. And that's just really beautiful. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Since I've been running the classes, it's been really fun to just see the relationships that have been built through the class. And there are definitely women like you might have been feeling that are scared to come alone. And because we do encourage them to bring a partner or a mom or a friend with them to the classes just to be their support system. But there are so many women who come alone as well. And I think they do find that sense of support and community within the classes.
Yeah.
Just like learning together with people who are in their same boat. So it's been really fun to see those relationships grow over the past couple of years.
That's awesome. Yeah. So if a man comes, with his girlfriend or his partner, wife, whatever, and they're facing an unplanned pregnancy, do y'all offer anything for the men in the situation?
Absolutely. Most days we have male client advocates here. And so if the partner is willing to talk to a male advocate, then they will be taken back to the client room, a separate client room, at the same time as their partner's having their pregnancy test appointment. Okay. And they'll just get to talk through their life situation too, their fears, their anxieties, or a lot of them, it's really cool to see, are actually super excited. So they just get, someone who's been in their shoes, is a father who just is there to talk to them and encourage them through whatever they might be feeling or thinking.
Yeah, I love that. I don't know, just like, it's so different when the man is, not only involved, but like you said, excited, because like, I just remember, you know my story, like, not having that support from the father of the child, it makes so much of a difference. And I think it's like, I forgot there's like a statistic about if the man is involved or is, supporting the woman, then they're more likely to choose life. So
much more likely.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. So I guess I want to ask you, sorry, were you going to say something? What got you involved in working with, Hope Pregnancy, and just, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that is a question that I have tried to answer, a lot, was thinking, what did get me involved here? When I was a teenager, my mom was volunteering at a pregnancy resource center, and it always just really intrigued me. Our church was involved with baby bottle boomerangs, which is where you fill a baby bottle with change and you donate it to the pregnancy center. And so I remember always knowing what they were. And as I was a teenager, just becoming way more interested in their mission and how they aided women who just were in really hard situations. And so coming into college, I knew that I wanted to be involved with the local pregnancy center. I think I looked up and saw that there was a pregnancy center before I came to A&M, and I was like, oh, I want to get involved with them. And as I was looking through different organizations to be a part of my freshman year, I came across Aggie Sisters for Christ, and their philanthropy is hope. So that was a big reason why I joined ASC, and I became the philanthropy chair and just loved all the times that we got to serve with hope until I decided that I wanted to volunteer. And after I started volunteering, I shortly came on staff. And so that was really cool, the way that God just laid out that path for me. But honestly, it wasn't until after I realized that I had pregnancy centers on my heart and really wanted to be involved. It wasn't until after that I heard my own story and the story of my mom and how I came to exist. And so my mom was a student in College Station in the 90s, and she became pregnant and just wasn't expecting it, unmarried, not really in a situation to raise a child, and also was unsure of who the father was. And so it was a difficult situation, and she just decided to choose life, and she had amazing support around her and eventually ended up getting married to my dad. And so I think just knowing that my mom chose life for me and just being able to have that story and legacy has been a huge part of why the Lord even laid that on my heart in the first place.
Yeah, I'm like tearing up. I don't know. I've heard your story before, but I don't know. But that's just how powerful and how beautiful the Lord is. It's like, and wow. I just love that. That's awesome. I'd love to meet your mom. Well, I don't know. I think I met your mom maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. I'll have to have her on the show. Yeah. Cause this is what is truly like your story and your mom's story and so many other women like that it's like what drove me to, start doing this, because so many times people don't know. Like, I shared with you how I'm helping this young girl at A&M currently. She's doing a whole lot better. And she told me just because of the fact that I'm talking to someone who already went through it, like that just helped me, like it gives her so much peace. And so it's just so encouraging always to hear about, and look at you, like you are like your mom, she's doing a whole lot, better than when she first initially was pregnant with you. And then also not only that, but like your faith, like, you now know who you both know your identity in Christ. And that's such an important factor, is that like these women, we do want to, for me personally, I know a lot of people in the pro-life movement think there's so many different voices, but like the peace that surpasses all of understanding is going to come from Jesus Christ. And so the more that we can, we're putting our faith into action when we actually are, meeting with a woman and counseling her through all these different things, but also sharing her what the gospel is. And if she's never heard that before, so that's awesome. Yeah.
It can be such an isolating experience. A lot of these women, especially students who come in to the center, they just feel so alone. Like no one else is going through this. And so, those stories are so important. I can't imagine how you're helping that young girl student right now, who's going through the same situation that you went through, and how stories are just so powerful. And just the testimony of Jesus's love for us as well is the biggest thing for sure. And getting through this situation and just knowing that God has a plan and God loves us. And so that's something that's definitely stressed here in our center when women come in.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess now we're filming this in June of 2022. So what are some challenges that you see ahead? And challenges in a good way. Like we're going to make a plan, put it into action, after, of course, the news about Roe v. Wade and everything. And I know Texas already has been making efforts in the legislative session and all that, to protect the preborn and also to advocate for women as well. Like, what do you think is the biggest challenge for pregnancy centers in the next coming months?
I think the biggest challenge currently is trying to gather all of the accurate information and making that available to our clients. Yeah. And so that's something just within the first week, of Roe v. Wade being overturned, something that we're really seeking to do is just gather all the information and present it accurately to our clients about what their rights are, what their options are. Because so many women are just so terrified after this. It's a victory for sure for us and for life. But the fact still remains that there are so many women who are scared out of their minds because of this. Yeah. And I think as the pro-life community, as pregnancy centers, as the church, we have to be there to meet their needs and to provide them comfort. And again, to provide them the hope of Jesus, which is the most important thing of all. Yeah. But these women are just in need of so much practical help and assistance, and material assistance, just support from people who can surround them and be there to watch their baby when they need to have a job interview. And so what we're going to be focusing on in these next few months and for as long as, Roe v. Wade is overturned and all of abortion is ending in Texas and many other states and really just throughout our nation, we're going to have to keep doing what we've always been doing, but just in a greater sense, providing social workers, to work one-on-one with our clients, providing job opportunities, providing more and more education and maybe support for children and moms, not just through 18 months, but through 3 or 4 years. So that's our big focus, is expanding our educational programs and our resources as well to connect women within the community.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm excited for y'all too. I feel like, in any situation, when you're put under pressure and you really put your head down, and especially within an organization, say, hey, we have this big goal or this big challenge and we're going to work together to, meet that goal. I'm excited. I don't know. And it's really amazing how, churches, the church has been doing the work for since forever of this. And of course, I think some churches are a little worried because, maybe they haven't been doing, the work. And so now people are saying, oh, we're going to be held accountable for this. And so I think it's important that, even pregnancy resources are, or churches are, connecting with pregnancy resources so that we can, just help support y'all more. And because y'all are really the hands and feet of the pro-life movement when it comes to supporting women. You guys are the ones who see them when they come through the door. And so that's awesome. How can we support you? If someone wants to help pregnancy centers during this time, and how can we help y'all the most? What is the greatest need that y'all have right now?
I would say number one is prayer. In this past week, we have definitely seen Satan at work, spiritual warfare, attacks on pregnancy centers, attacks on just pro-life people in general. But it's interesting to see the attacks coming toward us when we are really just here to
I know.
And aid them just in whatever decision they might make and provide that support. So it is interesting to see who they're choosing to take their anger out on at this time. But yeah, so prayer is just such a big need. We're starting a volunteer prayer team right now to
Oh,
be in the
really?
building and be praying at all times. So that's something that we're moving forward with. But more practically, financial donations are always so important, especially as we're moving forward and looking to expand our services that we provide to continue to support women, not just through 18 months, but further
Yeah.
along in their child's life.
Yeah.
So that's really important. And if you don't have financial means, volunteering to be a client advocate, volunteering to be on the prayer team, to meet with women and help them shop in Hannah's closet. Those are just some of our specific needs. Or, if you only just have a couple hours a week, I know some people from pro-life Aggies, for instance, will just stop by and say, hey, I've got some free time right now. Can I run by and package some diapers for some moms? And I'm
yeah.
please, anything is great and helpful. So, yeah.
That's awesome. And I kind of want to go back to the financial need is because I think I used to get intimidated when people would say, oh, if you would like to partner with us or donate with us, like partnering. And especially as a college student, like I remember I would get kind of nervous about them. Like I barely have any money, but partnering it like even just sharing, word of mouth, like that Hope Pregnancy Center needs donations. But I mean, even if you have a part-time job in college or like you just graduated, like something as simple as like $10, like all that adds up. And so if anyone's listening, I really encourage you, if you're in College Station or whichever state you're in, you can look up a local pregnancy center and you can contribute, just how Cameron said, you can pray for them, financially support them or partner with them, and also volunteer because they're always looking for help. And yeah. Well, Cameron, do you have anything else you want to add to the conversation?
I think we covered it all. I'm just really grateful for you to asking these hard questions and raising awareness about what pregnancy centers are and what we do. And so, yeah, thank you for letting me come on today.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much, Cameron. I'm so excited to see the work that y'all do. And until next time, y'all, thanks for listening.